Do you know something? I look through my sub box and I look on Twitter and I look all over social media. In fact, I don't really look for it even, to be honest with you. It just sort of approaches me and it kind of lands on my lap. And it's generally content talking about how Call of Duty's dead. If you look at Thunderstruck Gaming, a lot of the videos that people post on there is, what killed Call of Duty? When did Call of Duty start dying? How is Call of Duty going to revive itself? And, not only that, people legitimately throw up content talking about their frustrations. People genuinely want to get the things out, get all the cards out on the table and talk about why they're annoyed that Call of Duty's dying or dead or however you want to put it. I know people say it's not dead, it never will be dead, but it's on a decline. It's not as popular as it used to be, and there are reasons for that. And basically I was thinking, where did it ever go wrong and how did it go wrong? And I think if I sort of cast my mind back correctly, I can say that it possibly went wrong around about Black Ops 2. Now, I sort of took it back to Advanced Warfare, to be honest with you, but I do have to look a little bit further back and say, no, it was definitely Black Ops 2 where the decline kicked in. And even though I like Black Ops 2 and many people liked it, Black Ops 2 was one of those games where you either really didn't like it or you loved it, I don't think there was any kind of in between. Most people would say, I can give or take it. You either really liked it or you just didn't like it at all. It wasn't for you. It wasn't your bag, baby. Me, I liked Black Ops 2, but one of the things I didn't like during the Black Ops 2 course was the whole microtransactions thing, with regards to DLCs and season passes. There was these extra things where Treyarch or Activision came in and said, we have an idea, this is how we can make a little bit more money, just that they were doing okay. Black Ops 2 sales were very good, and there was not really any need for them to take that extra bit of cash and jump on the gravy train of cash cowism. But they did. They made a business decision. Somebody sat there and one guy said to another, I have an idea. I have a dream that one day somebody will be running around with not just a gold camo or a diamond camo, because that doesn't feel like it's going to be enough to me. Now we need a camo that looks as though, Kermit the Frog has vomited on your gun. And somebody said, yeah, that's a good idea. And people went for it. People absolutely dived in it in their droves, this pool of ideas. Yes, let's have camos, let's have different camos. I will stand out from the crowd. That's what it's all about. It's all about having that identity, and Activision or Treyarch or whoever came up with that initial idea recognise that people do like an identity. It's like the whole customization of characters. I like customizing my character. I'm a sucker for this. If I start a game off and it says, what kind of features would you like? I'll look at it and I'll go, I want a bit of stubble. I want a bit of beard. I want to have that rough look. I don't want a smooth shave. I've got a bit of stubble in real life. I like to keep that stubble. Like Homer Simpson, I've always got a 6 o'clock shadow. And I want my hair the way I want it there, and I want my eyebrows a little bit thicker because they're a little bit thicker, and I don't want to be skinny, I want to be chunky, strong, powerful like James Bond, And you have that customization thing, and whenever you compare yourself to other characters, it's nice to feel as though you're standing out and people can look and go, wow, look at this smart dressed soldier, isn't he a handsome character? He's very, very dapper. I like him. We can be friends, And that's where, for me, the decline started. But then, when it came to Advanced Warfare, everything went way over the scale. And unfortunately, respect, I suppose, for Sledgehammer for trying to bring something different to the table. And they brought in the whole supply drop thing. And they said, we'll try this, the different achievements and different times during the game and during your gameplay, you'll actually unlock a supply drop. And there might be something in there, you don't know. There might be a bloodshed helmet, or it might be, an ASM-1 speakeasy, or whatever the great gun of that game is. And that, for me, is where the ideas really started to kind of come in. And Treyarch looked at it and thought, you know what, instead of actually unlocking supply drops, let's now make them purchasable. We can have them unlocked and they'll give you half decent things, but the actual purchasable ones will be really, really crap, and they won't have anything in there. People will be chasing that gun, constantly chasing that gun as part of their identity, I suppose. It's like most of the guns you unlock, I've only come across a couple of them. Is it the MX Garand or something, and some people, I think that's a kind of acquired taste gun. You either really like that gun and you know how to use it, or you haven't got a bloody clue. But for me, that gun always knocks the snot out of me whenever somebody's shooting me with it. It's like, oh, I can hear the shots. It's like, oh no, it's an MX Garand. I'm dead. It's too late. There's nothing I can do about this. I've just got to carry on and hopefully find that guy, nick his gun, and go on a raging killing spree myself. as far as anything else goes, everybody's always chasing that next camo, that next bit of identity. The characters. Same with me. I kept saying about my Prophet. The one thing I wanted for my Prophet was the all-in-one Union Jack, because he's a Cockney. He's a Brit. So I wanted the all-in-one Union Jack with his Cockney accent, as he says. Something other apart from with these upgrades you never stood a chance. I wanted something different for him, but unfortunately it doesn't happen. And occasionally, I will be completely honest with you, I am a human being. I have looked and thought, maybe, I'm a little bit flush this week in my bank. I might just get a few, get some COD points and get a few supply drops and see if I can get it, sort of give myself the edge. And, the big head has tried to take over the little head, but the little head has turned around and stuck its finger in its eye and said, no, you're not buying a supply drop. That is wrong. That is absolutely wrong. It gives out the wrong message, and it's completely against everything you stand for. But people do. People continue to, and again, I don't want to keep going on about it, but unfortunately other channels expose the whole supply drop thing with arrows pointing to unlockable things, red arrows everywhere. What the fucking hell's all that about, the red arrows? Well, why is that new clickbait thing so popular? Here, I have a whole channel with red arrows in my thumbnails. Weird, but yeah, people do supply drops with a red arrow saying, oh, unlock, oh my god, OMG, and then a shocked face. And people fall for it and then go, I want in on this. That for me is where Call of Duty has really started to decline, and I'm wondering what is Infinite Warfare going to bring to the table. Is it going to be supply drops again? Will they throw in supply drops in COD 4 Remastered? Oh no, they can't do it. They can't do it. If they bring supply drops to COD 4 Remastered, I will drive to wherever Activision's place is, and I will, I don't know, set a brown paper bag full of dog turds on fire, throw it on their step, and await as whoever the head of Infinity Wards is comes out and says, oh no, a bag on fire. The only solution is to stamp on this and stand back in the wings and watch in absolute mirth as he gets covered in, yeah. So, for me, I think that is honestly where Call of Duty started to decline and people started to turn against it a little bit, is where Black Ops 2 decided to throw in the microtransactions. You'd have to correct me if I'm wrong here and say, no, it actually happened in Modern Warfare 3, but I don't think it did. I don't think there was purchasable camos in Modern Warfare 3. I'm pretty sure it just went up to gold and that was it. You got your gold and you were happy with your gold. But Black Ops 2, shame on you, Treyarch, for bringing in these vomit-covered guns and making people want them. I just want that gun that looks like Big Bird has sneezed on. So yeah, that's my opinion. Tell me what your opinion is. Where did you think COD started to decline and jump on the gravy train of cash cowism? It's not even a word. I just like the sound of it. Thanks for watching, guys. Apocalypse done.